hit the like and subscribe. Here we have the 5:20 in the morning podcast featuring Jeff Teague and his homies. As you can see here, they're doing a tourney of champs from 2009 to 2017, basically comparing the rosters and ranking the rosters of the champions from that time period. And during that, Jeff Teague made a statement as they were comparing the different versions of LeBron. Let's listen.
Which Bron was better?
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat.
I'm going this Cavs Bron because this Cavs Bron had a 3.
Man, y'all
Heat Bron
crazy.
was crazy.
Miami
That might be
Heat
the best
Bron
Bron we ever
was,
seen. I ain't gonna lie.
he was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real.
Now, I give you
like legit was on steroids, bro. I'm allegedly, but like he had to sit out. But y'all remember when they told him like they
There
gonna
goes the
start?
Clutch Sports allegations.
Y'all remember that though?
Nah.
When they was like he got everybody. They started testing for HGH, and they was like, yo, and he had to sit out. Like he said his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just I was in the league. I remember. And he came back in. He was crazy though, bro.
Nah, that might have been the best Bron, bro. At Miami,
Yeah,
bro,
I think so.
crazy.
Bro,
think-
it was right.
Hey, put that
Bro.
post in the chat,
Machine,
please.
bro. He was a real machine.
So there you have it. Jeff Teague said it about as plain as you can say it. He says LeBron James was on steroids allegedly during that time period. But allegedly, I'm sure that wasn't the only period that he was on steroids allegedly. Let's go ahead and get into it. So this is what Jeff Teague was talking about. Immediately after the finals, LeBron started looking like this in the summertime. Late July, August, people started seeing him, and he started looking like this. As you can see, he looks like 50 Cent when he was in that one movie where he had to lose a gang away, right? He's looking like that in the face. Neck skinny, head big as God knows what. And just to prove, even though, because this is a Celtics fan page, this same picture is still on LeBron James's Instagram to this day, okay? 500 from 572 weeks ago. So just to prove that they're not playing any games with the pictures, right? So we saw this one, and then this one as well. LeBron dressed up as Usain Bolt. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so you start seeing all these skinny pictures of LeBron once the NBA starts talking about testing for HGH. Now, it didn't go into effect until the next season, but it looked like LeBron was trying to get ahead of the game. Maybe they were thinking it was going to happen because it was sounding like it was going to happen for the 2014-15 season, but it ended up happening for the 2015-16 season. That's what it ended up happening. And LeBron tried to get ahead of the game, and he starts looking like this. Look how skinny he is, bro. Look at this. And this is what he looked like shortly before that, right? Way more muscle mass, neck thick, shoulders, traps thick. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looked like a completely different person. Then you get to his first season back in Miami. Cleveland, right? So he leaves the Heat, goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's not jumping high anymore. He looks like he's aging. This was a decade ago. Just remember this. So all of a sudden he gets this quote unquote back issue he needs to take care of. And as you can see here from Brian Windhorst, LeBron traveled to Miami for rehab. So LeBron James is going to Miami for rehab while he's playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Make it make sense, please. Let's read some of this. LeBron James's rehab process to deal with back and knee strains has focused on getting him into the best places to heal. That included a stay in Miami to take advantage of the warmer weather this week, Sources told ESPN Cleveland Cavaliers doctors advised James not to attend games over the past week because continuous sitting on the bench would be bad for his back. Coach David Blatt said, and LeBron ran him up out of there shortly after this. But he said that was by design. Blatt said he hasn't been around per the orders of the doctor. James spent part of the time doing rehab at the Cavs practice facility, but also spent time this week in Miami. Spending time in the warmer weather was deemed healthier for James's back. James said he was having rehab sessions 3 to 4 times a day during the past week. He said the weather is part of the reason he is going on, the weather is part of the reason he is going on the Cavs Western road trip that begins Friday in Golden State, even though he could be out for another week. So it helps that we're going to warmer cities, blah, blah, blah. Body can use that as well. Why would he need to go to Miami? All right, so via The Guardian, the biogenesis ped scandal explained. Now let's go ahead and read, zoom in a little bit. Big picture, when the Miami New Times broke the story in late January that Biogenesis, an anti-aging clinic in South Miami, had supplied human growth hormone and other performance-enhancing drugs to several high-profile players, Major League Baseball got hit with a major league scandal. Now, the baseball players, of course, as per usual, are the ones that get hit the hardest with the PED accusations and scandals and things of that nature, right? So clearly, there's a little bit of a Miami PED, you know what I'm saying, like link up there, right? So let me go ahead and pull up an article that's going to reference LeBron directly. I'm going to use Deadspin here. LeBron James, his wife, and 2 associates named in federal PED investigation. Let's see. There hasn't been a performance-enhancing drug scandal in basketball, at least not to the level, say, of the likes of Balco, blah, 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 blah. But there was a major steroid reckoning in the 21st century in both baseball, professional wrestling, and to a lesser extent, the NFL. Now, the biggest name in the NBA, if not professional sports, well, not professional sports because the soccer players are bigger, had close confidants surface as part of unredacted federal documents that were part of the Biogenesis investigation. LeBron James' longtime friend and business partner, Ernest Mims, as well as trainer David Alexander, who worked with James in the past, were named in the unearthed documents as clients of Biogenesis. Okay? To be clear, the reporting from ESPN that unveiled Alexander and Mims' names does not accuse James of taking performance-enhancing drugs, nor do any of the cited documents contain claims of him using steroids. However, James's name being tied up in a new wave of the Biogenesis scandal in 2 different ways is a terrible look. The names Ryan Braun and Nelson Cruz were never the same because of this scandal, as the findings led to the suspension of 21 players from Major League Baseball. An original 200-plus game suspension for Alex Rodriguez didn't forever disgrace the former Texas Ranger and New York Yankee, but his chase to take down the sport's all-time home run record was disintegrated. And his career prior to his admission of using performance-enhancing drugs will always have an asterisk. All right, let's go ahead and get through this. But so what we have right now, one of your closest homies, your personal trainer, and the dude that was training your wife, which is the same dude, right, were linked to Biogenesis. So you got the closest people around you getting supplements, and the supplements that Mims was getting, he was getting HGH. Bro, he can go get, he doesn't have to go back channels to get HGH as a, regular citizen. All he got to do is go to a clinic and get it prescribed. You don't have to do that. Why would he and his wife, he being Mims, need to do that? They're regular citizens. They're not playing professional sports. That's where the alarm goes up in regards to LeBron. Let's go ahead and read a little bit more and we'll get up out of here. Mims was cited in the federal documents as buying controlled substances for personal use without the intent of distributing the drugs to anyone else, right? Like I just said, per ESPN, Mims was never charged with a crime and was never interviewed as part of the case by the federal authorities. Alexander is listed in the federal documents as a Miami-based personal trainer for James's wife. Alexander was also named as an associate of former colleague of biogenesis mastermind Anthony Bosch, where he traded drugs for new personal training clients, one of whom was Mims. Come on now. James, nor any other athlete, was not listed in the names of about a dozen referrals involving Alexander. Of course you wouldn't list the athlete's name. Whoever's the dude that's going out, just whoever's on the payroll just to go do the dirty work, that's who's going to be on there. You doing the grunt work. So all this stuff that we have here is why LeBron would go to Miami in order to get back. So with full context of everything, Jeff Teague's comments, we went through articles of quote unquote skinny LeBron, saw pictures and went through the biogenesis and stuff like that, why he would go back to Miami in order to get whatever it was he needed, the quote unquote weather. All right. And then he comes back from Miami and all of a sudden he's jumping high and doing everything that he was doing prior. The man got the re-up, allegedly, on the substances. Anyway, somebody done got to Jeff Teague. He wouldn't basically backtrack. Listen to his reasoning here.
Shout out to the game.
To my right, my dog, Young Nacho, Young Teague, how you what?
Whoop, I had to wear Jordans today because Kobe hate me and LeBron, so I guess I go with the mics.
Yeah, on the way in, you know what I'm saying? Some black trucks outside. I'm happy we can still podcast.
Man, listen, bro.
We was only on Clutch Sports for 2 weeks, man.
Man, they kicked me off the clutch, bro. Listen, bro, it was a joke, bro. Like, what did they miss, bro?
Hey, now, before we even get to that, who do we have on the show that was from Clutch? And they were just like, yeah, I had to double check to see if he was actually on the roster. Was that Alicia Kirby?
Yeah, Alicia Gray, yeah. Like, they like,
He's not, Alicia.
No, I'm not on Clutch Sports. It definitely, after this, I will never get another Clutch opportunity. Because y'all take everything out of context. We were literally giving LeBron praise of how dominant he was.
Now, Jeff, do we really, you know what? Y'all tell me if this looks like a man who's joking. So here's the episode. He made the comments again. Let's listen to him. And y'all tell me if this is a man who's joking. Yeah.
Which Bron was better?
Miami Heat, Bron.
Miami Heat Browns.
Miami Heat.
I'm going this Cavs Bron. Because this
Man.
Cavs Bron had a 3.
Man, y'all crazy.
That
Miami
might be the
Heat,
best
Bron
Brown we ever
was,
seen. I ain't gonna lie.
he was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real.
Nah, give me
Like legit was on steroids, bro. I'm allegedly. But like he had to sit out, bro. Y'all remember when they told him like they
There
gonna
goes the
start?
Clutch Sports allegations.
Y'all remember that though?
No.
When they was like he got everybody, they started testing for HGH, and they was like, yo, and he had to sit out. Like he said his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just I was in the league. I remember. And he came back in. He was crazy though,
Nah,
bro.
that might have been a best.
So there you have it. Does that sound like a man who's joking? Because everything he said was correct. The NBA was talking about testing for HGH in the coming season. LeBron did come back skinny. We saw the pictures. LeBron's performance did dip. He did leave Cleveland for a period of time and went to Miami for a period of time. We read it all. This man wasn't joking. Somebody got to him. And we know how the LeBron James fans are. You come for their king, they gonna come for you. What kind of pathetic group of men gonna worship another man? Can't do it. People are allowed to have an opinion on the man's play. Period. If there's smoke in regards to performance enhancing drugs, people are allowed to talk about it. You can't shut people up. And then when you have a Lance Armstrong type situation that comes about, all they're going to do is scurry up under a rock somewhere. Anyway, Jeff Teague, bruh, you have a very entertaining podcast, but don't become a podcast where you're going to end up, you just toe the company line. Don't do that. You actually have an opportunity to be the opposite of that. And I think that's part of the appeal of your podcast. But as we look up at this top right-hand corner, you're attached to certain sponsorships and things of that nature. Brother, you can do it on your own. I'm telling you, you can do it on your own. You don't need all that nonsense because all they're going to do is control you. They're going to control your narrative. And I think you on your own would actually probably be better than the contrived version of the podcast that we're probably going to get. Let me know what you guys think about this. Was Jeff Teague being honest, and was he telling the truth? Do you believe that LeBron James was on performance-enhancing drugs, allegedly? Or was Jeff Teague spitting a bunch of nonsense? Am I spitting a bunch of nonsense? Let me know what you guys think, and hit that like and subscribe, please. And until next time, I'm out.